What's cracking, guys? Bruce Matson, your host show of Metric Scout Fantasy Football. And as you all probably know by now, Zach Charbonnet is not entering the NFL draft. He will be returning to UCLA for his senior season. We'll be seeing him as a Bruin in 2020, and this means a lot for his prospect profile. One, he will not be in rookie drafts this year. He will be in there next year, and this will take a hit on his Dynasty fantasy football values along with his Devy stock. And the reason why is because he'll have another year of collegiate ball under his belt. He'll be an older prospect. That doesn't mean he can't develop into a good player, but he'll be in this 2023 draft class with a lot of stud running backs. This is a stacked draft class. This is not optimal for a junior running back who is pegged to go to the 2022 class to jump into this 2023 pool because it's deep. More than likely, recently, the advisory board probably gave him a bad grade. More than likely, they told him to return to school to further his education, to build upon his draft capital. The board usually gives you a first round, second round, or a return to school grade. I think more than likely he received the return to school grade, and he had to think hard on that decision, and that's why we found out the other day that he will be returning to UCLA for his senior season. He rushed for 1,153 yards and 13 touchdowns this season, 469 missed tackles, and he averaged 3.5 yards after contact per attempt. So it's not too bad. So it was productive this year. Last year in 2020, that season for Michigan wasn't all that great. Was a blemish on his prospect profile. Freshman year, he wasn't gangbusters. He wasn't super explosive. He wasn't super productive, but he did have double-digit touchdowns. He did look good in spots. We were hoping that he was getting hardballed at Michigan, like we've seen a lot of other Michigan prospects, and that he would blow up at UCLA. And he did have a good season this year. He did look good, but he wasn't really gangbusters either. I would like to see him up his production next year during his senior season. Maybe eclipse 1,500 yards, push for 1,700 or even 2,000, get 20 touchdowns or so. He's really going to have to produce for him to climb the ladder, and there's a good chance that he is. He's a 220-pound running back, runs with good power. I would like to see him get faster, get more burstier, improve upon that long speed of his. That really bothers me a little bit. I wish he could be a little bit faster. Also, too, the way he processes during his approach to the line of scrimmage, seeing the holes, just really making those quick, decisive cuts and decisions. I think he can be more consistent at that. I think there are some things that he can improve upon his game that could make him a lot better running back, but that's just something we're going to have to find out going forward. Right now, from a metric perspective, I don't see him being a top 100 player in the 2023 NFL draft class. There's just so many good running backs already, and then he's competing, he's jockeying position with all those guys, and then him returning for another year is just a red flag on his prospect profile. The odds of him rebooting, returning, and just improving upon his draft stock is not the greatest thing. I wish him best of luck. One of my favorite running backs in college football still, because he is fun to watch, and I do want to see him turn things around. But I gotta be honest, I don't see him being a first-round running back in rookie drafts next year. I just don't see it happening. He could be an under-the-radar value, which is okay, and he still has some talent. I feel like we've been riding on that high school profile for a bit, and maybe that's caused us to overvalue him a little bit. I've had him in the first round of some rookie mock drafts, had him ranked kind of high in this draft, really chasing the size, chasing that profile, chasing this recent production. However, there is some blemishes on tape. There is some blemishes in his production, and after seeing what just happened, that's going to impact his prospect profile for the long haul. However, he could be a cheap get. He could be an under the radar guy that could blow up at the NFL level once the situation gets good for him. We could see that happen. But right now, this is not a good thing for Zach Charbonnet's profile. It's a wait-and-see type of deal. He's not dead. I've seen some people act like he's a dead prospect, like he's not going to be able to be productive once he hits the NFL level, but there's still a chance. There's still a chance. It's just a red flag that we have to look at, that we can't ignore either. You can't overvalue it. You can't ignore it. It's there, though. It's there. You have to think about that red flag that just occurred. But I want to thank you for watching the show, sticking with me. We just hit 1,000 subscribers. I want to thank everybody that helped us get to that mark, and we're just going to continue to march forward. 5K is not far away. We'll get there sooner than later. But again, I want to thank you for watching the show, and I'll catch you next time.